So you're going to love this calculator because it does fractions for you. I know y'all don't want to do fractions by hand, but you will love this because it does do fractions. So we're just going to write this, and then you're going to see we're going to use all of these today. So your fraction is alpha y equal, and fraction to decimal. So you don't even have to divide anymore. You know how you used to have to. So we're ordering numbers today. And ordering numbers, you did this in 6th and 7th grade. You had to get them either all to decimals, or if they were all fractions, you had to get them all to a common denominator. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay? Your calculator will do it for you. Then we have fraction to decimal. So if we wanted to compare two decimals, you could put that fraction in there, and you could change it to a decimal. Okay? I also want you to write on the right-hand side, we are going to write this just in case. Y'all should know these signs, but just in case, because y'all worked with inequalities last year. So we're doing this over on the right-hand side. Less than is closed. And so what I say, I know y'all have always heard the little alligator. So if you're looking at this, I say it like this. When your mouth is closed, you get in less trouble. When you're talking and your mouth is open, you get in greater trouble. That makes a lot more sense with middle school children. So, today we're going to start, I am going to be jumping between my calculator screen and my iPad. So on the board, I will act like if you have a paper in front of you. When it changes in your calculator, you're going to need to write down that change, okay? So if the negative square root of 5 doesn't stay negative square root of 5 and it puts it as a decimal, you need to write that down, okay? That's you showing your work, okay? I am going to show you exactly on the board, if this was like a piece of paper, if you were like doing it as a digital activity, and you had to have a piece of paper to show your work, this is how you would do it, okay? And the reason I'm going to do it like this is because I'm going to have my calculator screen up on the board, okay? So you can also see what you need to be writing on your paper. Okay, so here we go. So, we're going to actually start with number 4.
All right.
So, you are going to pull out your calculator. Oh, I can't do that. Thought I could. Okay, you're going to pull out your calculator, and we have the square root of 140. So you are going to hit blue, x squared, and I will go slow today so I make sure everybody knows where we're at. And then you're going to type in 140. And you're going to type enter. Do you see it changed? You're going to write that underneath on your note, on your piece of paper. You are going to write, just 11.83 would be perfect. You don't have to write the whole number out. So if you had a digital activity, do you understand you just write the square root of 140, like it's problem 4. You would write number 4, square root of 140 equals 11.83, and voila, you're good. That's your work. That's you showing me your work. Okay? Now, then we're going to put in a fraction. And look, it's a mixed number. So there's 2 different things we'll do, whether it's a regular fraction or a mixed fraction. So everyone hit alpha, and as you know, it turns red on my calculator, so you can see which button I hit. Alpha is your green button. And your y equal, which is 2 above that. Now, you have number 1 is a regular fraction, just a numerator over a denominator. Okay? And make sure also when you're hitting the buttons, you just hit alpha, take your hand off, or hit y equal, take your hand off. If it goes to something like just y equal, y equal, y equal, and you can't get out of it, you are just going to hit second mode. So if you get in a screen and it won't come out, just hit second mode. Do you see above mode it says quit? So you're quitting that screen. So don't worry about that. If you get in that, just take it out like that. Okay, now we have a mixed number. So do we want to use 1 or 2? 2. So just hit number 2. Now we're going to type in 11. Oh, look, do you see it shows you a little arrow? I want my fraction. So I'm going to hit the arrow to the right. I'm going to put in a 2. How do you think I get to the denominator?
Down.
Press the down button and press 5. Good. And hit enter. Oh, it gave me an improper fraction. So can I compare an improper fraction with 11.83? No. So let's make it to a decimal. Hit math, because we're in math class, so it's under your green button. Now, if you had a decimal, do you see you'd press 1 to get it a fraction? But we have a fraction and we want it to a decimal. So we're going to hit number 2. To make it work, we then hit enter. And we have 11.4. So you need to write that underneath your paper. If this was digital, you would just write it on your paper, 11 2/5 equals 11.4. Now, let me go back to my other screen. Okay, so this is what yours should look like. Now, let's talk about that. If you would like to put a 0 behind that, so there it's the same amount of numbers, do it. Is 11.83 greater than or less than 11.4? Great. Perfect. Good job. Now we're going to skip down to number 7. Okay, so I have number 7 written right here on the board because this would be my piece of paper if I was doing it digitally. Okay, we have a negative. Maybe. Come on. Negative is down by your decimal. Square root of 5. So you're going to hit second. X squared 5 and hit enter. So I would just put negative 2.2. You could put 4, round to the nearest hundredth.
2.2.
To the nearest hundredth would be 2.24. Hundredth is the second place behind your decimal. So, oh, it's over here. I would write negative 2.23. Oh, 2.4, sorry. 2.4. Okay. Now, let's do a fraction. It's an improper fraction. Oh, well. We're going to do alpha. Y equal. Now, I just have an improper fraction. So do I want to hit 1 or 2?
1.
1. Good. So I'm going to put enter. You can hit enter or you can put 1. Doesn't matter.
Wait, it says negative. Wait,
It says negative. So we're going to put the negative up there with the 8. Okay? So I'm going to put negative. And I'm going to put 8. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to put 3. Now, if you forgot to put the negative up top and you went, oh, I forgot the negative, you could literally put it at the bottom with the 3. That would be okay. It just means that fraction is negative. Or you can put it in front before you hit the alpha y equal. Any of those will work. Okay? I just like putting it up there at the top, then I'll have to hit extra buttons. Now hit enter. But it just gave me the same answer. Because it's improper. You didn't tell it to do anything else. So let's make it a decimal. Let's go to math. If I want a decimal, what am I do? 2. And I'm going to hit enter. And so I'm just gonna write negative 2.66 repeating. So I'm gonna put a line over it. I know it's gonna keep going because where the last number is, this will be a repeating. Do you see it's a 7, so it rounded it. It rounds it at the end, and if it's 5 or above, it would give it a shove. Okay? So that's why your 7's at the end. Okay, so negative 2.6 repeating. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, some people get confused with negatives and go, I don't really remember. So, is negative 2.24 greater than or less than negative 2.6 repeating? Okay, I just heard both. So, I'm going to teach you how to let the calculator tell you. Okay, you're going to see why we use this one. So I heard both. I heard less and greater than. So let's go to our calculator and learn a trick. Okay. You might just want to hit clear. Let's just everybody clear out your calculator so it's clear. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Second plus 7, 1, 2. So it's all pretty and cleared out. Now, you are going to hit the stat button a lot on this, okay? So we have this cute little step by step by step, and you're going to go, ooh, that's a lot. I'm going to give you a little piece of paper that has step by step. You're going to get used to it. After we practice this for 4 days, you're going to be a rock star at this, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is hit stat. And you have to hit stat 3 times as we do this, okay? You're then going to hit enter. You should not have anything in L1 because you just cleared out your calculator. So you hit stat, enter. Stat, enter. Stat is 2 away from the green button. Everybody's empty in L1? Now you always want to put it in L1. Sorry. Always put it in L1. Never put it in L2 or you're going to have to remember different steps. Okay? So you'll always put your information for ordering numbers in L2. So here we go. We're going to use the numbers we just did. We're going to do negative square root of 5. So type negative. Do you see? You don't see anything in the box. It's typing it down here at the bottom. Okay? Square root. So I'm going to hit second, x squared, and I'm going to hit 5. And you're going to hit enter. Now, you're going to have lists that have 5 or 6 numbers. The reason I'm making you write and show your work on the ones that change, which we've already done this one, we've already written it down, because you might have 3 or 4 that change. And when it orders it, you're not going to remember which one was what. Okay, so that's why we're writing it down when it changes. Now, so now we're going to write, we're going to go to a fraction, alpha, y equal. We're going to, it's just a improper fraction, so we're going to hit number 1. And we're going to type negative 8 over 3 because we're still using the same one. Now look, it kept it as a fraction. I don't need to make it a decimal because I'm not personally having to order this. The calculator is going to do it for me, so I can leave it just like that. Okay? If it is a fraction that can reduce, it will reduce it for you also. Okay, so that's nice. And I can also tell you on the STAR test, if you had 4 over 8, which would give you what as an answer if you reduced it? A half. That would also be correct if you didn't reduce it, because it still means a half. Okay, so just letting you know on the STAR test, if you don't reduce, you're still okay. Okay, now you're ready to learn, let it do it? Okay. So do we want the biggest number at the top or the smallest number at the top? Totally up to us since it's not telling us. Which one? Smallest or largest? Largest? Okay. Y'all are my first one that's told me largest, so this is kind of interesting. Okay, so if I'm going large to small, what am I doing? Going up or down?
Up.
and my students were doing this. I don't care. And you need to do that, so you go up, down, up, down. So if I'm going least to greatest, I am going up. Ascending and descending, okay? So y'all tell me we want to go down, so we are going to descend. Down, descend. Up, ascend. Okay? Easy to remember. Okay, you are going to hit stat again. You told me we want to descend, so we're gonna hit 3. And you should have sort D, because it says we're sorting it, descending. Now, look above your number 1. Do you see it says L1 in blue? Didn't we just put that in list 1? We want it to sort list 1. This is why I tell you always put it in list 1 so you don't have to remember any other keys, okay? So you are going to hit blue 1, enter. So it's done. You're going to hit blue 1, enter. Blue 1, enter. So it's done. Do you see it said it's done? That means it's just done it. It just ordered it for you. When we hit it here in a minute, your largest number will be on top because you went from greatest to least. Okay? So now we start the same way as we end. Stat, enter. Your largest number is on top. So yes, the square root of -5 is greater than -8/3. Because remember, when you think of negatives, we're not going to look at those 2's because they're the same numbers. 6, the bigger the negative, the smaller it is. Okay? So, that is why it is like that. But do you see your calculator does it for you? Now, if the calculator totally confuses you, you don't have to use it. If you want to put all of your numbers in decimals and compare them, go for it. Totally up to you. But you're going to see the more we practice this, you're going to get really good at it. And that little piece of paper tells you exactly step by step what to do. Okay? And we're going to get a lot of practice in the next 4 days on this. Okay, so let's try one with 4 numbers. Okay. So we are now going, I'm going to teach you how to clear your list. Yes, you can do 2nd plus 7, 1, 2. Or you can do this. Go up, do the up arrow. And you are going to hit clear. Don't ever hit delete or it will delete your column. Okay? And now hit enter and voila, it's clear. So I hit up, clear, enter. Up, clear, enter. Good? Everybody have a clear? Up, clear, enter. Okay, now we're going to put in number 8. And it has 4 numbers. If you realize you skip a number, it doesn't matter what order you put the numbers in. So don't worry, go, oh my gosh, I got to start over. No, just stick it at the end. Okay, you're totally fine. Okay, here we go. We're going to put the square root of 82. So hit blue, square root, 82, and hit enter. What do you do when it changes? Write it down. This is you showing your work. No worky, no gravy. That's why I always show you what I expect, so there's no questions about it. Okay. 8.9 repeating. There's not a repeat button on your calculator, okay? So we're just going to type 8.999. Did we see it repeated? You don't need to rewrite that because you know that's what that line means. Okay, so I totally understand. You do not need to write that. But just put a couple more 9s because that's what the repeating, people will sit there and look for that repeating button. There's not one. Okay? My next number is 9 1/3. What am I going to do to get that fraction?
Alpha.
Alpha.
Y equal.
Y equal. Am I gonna hit 1 or 2? 2 because I have a mixed number. And I am going to type in 9. Scroll to the right. 1. Scroll down and 3. Hit enter. Look, it's nice. It doesn't change. Leave it alone.
Yippee.
And your last one is just 9, so you know that one's not going to change. So do you see, if you had to do work and it was on digital, you would write 9, square root of 82 is this. That's all you'd have to write. Okay? Okay, now these say least to greatest. If you see right there above the thing. So if I'm going least to greatest, am I going up or am I going down?
Oh.
Up. Least to greatest. I went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to hit stat.
2.
I'm going to hit 2 because doesn't ascending mean up?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Blue 1, enter, so it's done. Blue, oh, not my plus. Now watch. Okay, I just hit the wrong button. Don't panic. All those numbers are still there. I would just go back to stat. Edit. Stat. And you all said sort 2. See, I'm good. Nothing disappeared. Okay? So it is in there. So you can't tell me, oh, everything just disappeared when you're that kid that hasn't typed anything in. Because it is still there, unless you clear it out. Got it? So don't panic when it does that. It's all still there. So now I'm going to hit blue 1, not the plus sign, enter. So it's done. Blue 1, enter. So at some point, if you want to box your second with a blue, or if you want to highlight it with a blue, you can totally do that. That is your little notes. So blue 1, enter, so it's done. And now it's done. It's in order for you.
Where is my...
Hit stat, enter. I'm going to turn back to my page because you have your calculators. Yours match mine?
Yeah.
It's in order from least to greatest.
Where is my...
Here we go. 8.9. You always rewrite what the original they gave you. What was next? 9. What's next?
9.0554.
Oh, okay, so that's my square root of 82, right? And then my 9 1/3. See how nice that was in order for you? Does that take a lot of stress off?
Yeah.
Now, you will. This is one of the things your iPad calculator will do. You might be stressed because it was a lot of hits. You will get them in your head just practicing. And we're going to do a lot more practice on it tomorrow. So don't stress about it right now. Okay? We're going to do a lot more practice on it tomorrow. Okay, and Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear out our calculator. Second plus 7, 1, 2. If you forget that, anytime, it's up there on the wall. So you can always, when you're walking back, to put your calculator up, not right now because we got glue. You can always look back there and say, oh, okay,
I remember.
okay. Get out your note spiral. So we can glue in our items. We are on page 4. You're going to just take your paper and fold it in half. You are then going to glue this. Now when you glue this, please put it at the bottom of the page. And tomorrow we'll put something on it. I know that just looks boring. Okay. So, have that glued on there on page 4.